place on the map and go. Travel down a lonely road and see where it takes you. We're in the Northwoods of Wisconsin, coming back to our roots a little bit. Just hanging out in the forest, enjoying the cozy weather. So join us for a day and night by a beautiful river as we hunker down for the first snow of the season. This is Tiny Cabin Life. We're in the Chequamegon-Nicolet National Forest in northern Wisconsin, camped off of a back road in the middle of nowhere. We're set up next to the Marengo River, which is a beautiful waterway that makes its way through this forest. And surrounding it is a gorgeous valley that almost seems out of place here in the Midwest. Winter definitely seems to be upon us now as temperatures are consistently cold. And today, we're expecting some freezing rain, which might just turn into some snow as the day progresses. I'm prepping some kindling and smaller pieces of firewood for our wood stove inside the cabin.
Well, we are back in the micro cabin, and it seems like winter is coming in hot. It's already started to sort of drizzle out there, but supposedly the rain is going to turn into snow later on. We'll see. We're really going old school on this trip. I just found a small forest trail and we're just parked on the side of it. The river is just right over there, which is really awesome, and I'm looking forward to exploring that. But for the most part, this trip is all about enjoying the forest, maybe taking in a little bit of snow, and certainly enjoying this cabin as well. Oh, this is great. This is the exact type of fire that we want to have in this stove. We want to have a larger piece of wood that is burning, but it's burning really slowly. That's perfect, because if we had a big fire going in there, it would roast us out of here. And so I'm really glad to see that we've got some nice hot coals and good steady heat coming out of this thing.
before we head out and do some exploring, I'm just going to whip up a quick breakfast so I can be fueled up and ready to go. I have to be careful when I'm cooking bacon in here because the grease will just kind of splatter around. And since this is such a small space, I don't want that getting on, my bed or the walls or anything. So I like to cover it like this just to keep things a little more clean. Just a good old-fashioned breakfast burrito here. I have some bacon, eggs, potatoes, and onions. There's onions in those potatoes as well, and a little bit of cheese. Dear God, thank you for this awesome campsite. Bless this food. Amen. It is absolutely delicious. I always say, breakfast burrito without potatoes isn't truly a breakfast burrito. So this one's definitely firing on almost all cylinders. Now with breakfast out of the way, it was finally time to hike over to the river. Oh, here's the river. Wow. This river has such a wild quality to it, and that's just heightened right now with this rain coming down. I love how the hills tower above the valley here, almost making you feel like you're in the mountains. And then, of course, the pine trees and all the other vegetation. It's so incredibly thick, and it's kind of cool to see it right now in this transition between fall and winter. I'm gonna do a little bit more exploring here, but I had to put Ellie back in the cabin. It's just too cold and wet out here, and I don't want her just to be freezing and soaking wet, so I think she'll be happier in there. It's amazing how many roads and trails like this are in our national forests. And honestly, you could spend a lifetime exploring one of our forests like this, and you wouldn't even get through it all. Well, it really levels out nicely up here. There's much more room to maneuver, and it's much nicer up here than where we set up camp, that's for sure. Well, we got a little fork in the road here, and this trail right here looks like it just goes on for miles and miles. That is incredible. This one over here seems to wind its way further up the hillside. Whether or not it tops out with a view, who knows? After getting rained on out there a little bit longer, I decide to head back to the cabin to warm up and relax a little bit.
One of the things my dad really loved was when we had a fire at the cabin, he loved having the door open. And I would always fight him on it because when you have the door open, it feels like you're getting more heat, but what's actually happening is it sucks the heat out of the space and up the chimney. And if it's really, really cold, I mean, we're talking well below zero, you're not going to efficiently heat your cabin with the door open. He knew that too deep down, but he just loved watching the fire flicker and hearing the wood crackle and pop. And I have to admit, I love it too. And every time I have the door open like this, it reminds me of him. Whoa, looks like we got some snow. Look at that. That is snow, baby. Oh, very cool. Well, it feels really good just hanging out here in the cabin. But from the looks of the weather report, we might have a little window here before either more rain starts up or potential snow. We might have a little time to try to get a little campfire going. I didn't bring any firewood with me, so we're gonna have to go outside and try to collect some. Only problem is it's gonna be really, really wet. So we'll see if it works out. As you can see, there's tons of wood all over here. But yeah, it's really, really wet. I think what I'll do is use a couple pieces of my stove wood to get it going, and maybe we can get it burning hot enough where some of this wet stuff will start to burn. You know, nice little twig fire. Now that's what I call a twig fire. That worked out perfectly. Let's see if Al wants to come out. Yeah! All right, Al! Man, and just like that, we already need some more wood. That's the downfall of the twig fire. This stuff should work now. Same with this. All of this stuff should work just fine now, even though it's on the ground. The fire is very, very hot.
Now that we're in the cabin for the night, it's time to cozy up and make some dinner. I'm making some spaghetti with added grilled chicken. A very simple meal, but should be very delicious.
Dear Lord, thank you for a great day. Thank you for the rain, the snow, everything. Amen.
The snow continues to fall outside, and with the dropping temperatures, it's actually starting to stick to the ground. And as nice as it is to be outside filming it, I gotta say it feels better relaxing in the cabin. Just enough snow fell overnight to completely transform the landscape. And within that transformation, it seemed that autumn had disappeared and winter had finally arrived.
Good morning, everybody. It's a winter wonderland out here. So cool. Man. You know, when I heard there might be some snow,
I didn't think it was gonna actually stick like this, which is so cool and almost better than getting to watch it fall during the day. There's something special about waking up to just a fresh coat of snow, even a little dusting like this.
With a very long drive ahead of us to get home, unfortunately, it was finally time to start packing up. All right, it is time to roll. You guys are not going to believe this trail. It's so narrow. It's easily the most narrow trail I've ever taken this truck on. It gets scratched up left and right, but you know, I guess that's why I have a truck. It's meant to get beat up, and we had a good time, so it was worth it. Well, we made it, guys, and with that, I think I'm going to wrap up this video. Thank you all so much for watching. This was such a blast. It felt so good to kind of get back to our roots a little bit. Just pick a spot on the map, set up camp, and enjoy a day and night there. You know, I get too caught up sometimes looking for big hikes, activities, and adventures, and I forget that cabin life at its purest form is just sitting back and taking in the beauty of nature. And that's what we were able to do on this trip, and it was a blast. I want to give a special shout out to our patrons who generously donate to this channel. Thank you so much. But to all of you who watch these videos, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, thank you as well. You're all the reason that we get to do this on a weekly basis and share it with you, and I am so incredibly grateful for that. But you guys know the drill. It's time to hit the road so I can get home and see the girls. We'll see you next week. God bless.